They are among the 4 Kenyan suspects scheduled to fly to The Hague in April at the commencement of the full trial of charges of crimes against humanity, a month after presidential polls that they seem all set to contest unless they do not pass the integrity hurdle currently in the Kenya's High Court.
Article 143 of the Constitution states very clearly that in the case of the president, he is immune from all civil or criminal proceedings. This is not a new provision. It was there in our previous constitution. This provision is there in most constitutions of presidential systems, and the reason is to avoid the embarrassment or the chaos of the president having to go to criminal process or civil process when he should be handling very critical issues.
However, that immunity is not extended to international proceedings.
There is now recognition that we live in a different era. We live in an era of constitutionalism, rule of law, and respect for human rights, which is one of the pillars of our new constitution. Therefore, Article 143(4) introduces an exception to the immunity that the president has. It says that that immunity will not apply where Kenya is a party to a treaty that allows for the prosecution of a president or that prohibits that immunity.
But the question is, if a person facing charges of crimes against humanity becomes a president, what would happen?
The president could choose to cooperate and fulfill the summons, leave the vice president in charge, go to the ICC whenever needed to answer to those charges and take part in those proceedings. Or they could make a request to be excused from participating in the trial, save when they need to give their own personal evidence.
So the question is, how do you proceed criminally against a sitting head of state?
Locally, in the meantime, the president could face another hurdle through an impeachment, as the Constitution says that a president may be removed from office if there are serious reasons for believing that the president has committed a crime under national or international law. However, this could be tricky, as such a motion requires 2/3 majority to pass, yet the president could be holding sway in parliament by having the largest number of MPs who would reject such a move.
If they do not continue cooperating and the government doesn't continue cooperating, we will be isolated. But of course, the consequences of electing a person who is facing charges and every so often has to travel to The Hague for the trial has also other implications here, because the evidence that we will come that we do not know about will probably be a basis for impeachment.
If I was Uhuru or Ruto, I would think that the best case scenario is for me to be elected president of Kenya in 2013, because I already know I'm facing trial at The Hague. If I am now facing that trial as the president of Kenya, then I have more clout and it becomes an issue that is not just at the individual level, but also at the state level. So I think for these particular suspects, their best case scenario is that one of them is president of Kenya or vice president in April 2013.
An interesting debate there, with focus being on Uhuru and Ruto. In a summary, the debate arises from provisions in the new constitution. There is a clause that says that criminal proceedings shall not be instituted in any court against a sitting president. The other clause says that civil proceedings as well shall not be instituted in any court against a sitting president. But that read in line with another clause that says that that immunity shall not be extended to proceedings under international law or a treaty that Kenya is signatory to. And that is a summary of the whole debate revolving around the candidature of Uhuru and Ruto. Back to you, Janet and